Hi there, I'm Darren McDermott and you're watching Dukascopy TV for a look at the equity markets as we head into the summer. I'm joined today by Ion-Marc Valahu from Clarinvest. Welcome.
Hello.
So Ion-Marc, what sort of trends are we seeing as we head into the summer for the stock market? And of course, do you think the US economy will pick up a little bit thanks to the strong jobs figures?
Well, I think we have a transitional period right now. The beginning of the year has been difficult for everybody. I mean, the markets didn't get any clear direction. Of course, I think the fact that the Fed started tapering end of last year kind of held up the markets a little bit less of liquidity, and then we got an impact from the emerging markets having a fairly large correction. And so that period is now ended, and now we're running into the summer doldrums, if you want to call them. And usually seasonality is not very good for equity markets. But I think that given the difficult first half of the year, the second half might be a bit more stable, or maybe at least a direction, either way, maybe to the downside as far as a correction, or to the upside, which is what we want. Investors can make money on either side. But I think that, yeah, the economic numbers have been terrible in the first quarter of this year in the United States because mostly of the weather and maybe a little difficulty in the economies. But now if the period is going to look a little better, the numbers are starting to start to look a little better, and I think we can have a pickup, at least in the growth in the US.
Great, and then looking at the Ukraine conflict, now what sort of impact is this having? Should we be concerned for the US? Well,
a little bit. It's an outliner. It's sitting out there. Putin is putting pressure on the European and the States and the United States with the situation. I think that if you look at rationally, the US and Europe can't do much. I mean, Europe needs the gas and oil from coming out of Russia, and the United States have finished with Afghanistan and Iraq, and I don't think they have the means, nor do they have the popularity from the electorate vote to go after somebody else. So I think that they might find a compromise where Putin will save face, and the Europe and the US will save face as well, maybe by keeping Crimea and not invading the rest of Ukraine. But in any case, as we go further, people will not start to pay attention anymore. It's a short-term nerve-wracking, but I think it'll work out.
And Ion-Marc, we have the ECB rate decision this week. Now, no changes are actually expected, but what sort of tone are you expecting to see? And do you think there will be a lot spoken about maybe injecting some quantitative easing in order to help fight deflation?
Well, I think that's what a lot of people expect. That's you're starting to hear voices from political leaders in Europe asking for the ECB to do something, but and I'm not sure if they were going to do anything. I mean, Draghi did make a big statement saying that he had all the tools and he could do something, but that's another question of what he can do or cannot do. First of all, from his mandate, it's pretty tight. He can't do very much to start his own QE like the Fed did, because his mandate is only to fight inflation and not growth. It's not really the mandate of the ECB. So possibly they can find an arrangement with an excuse that they will fight deflation, and then they will use that as an excuse to do QE. In any way, I don't think they're ready now. The numbers are not. They're not very good, but they're not terrible. And if you look at the European Union as a whole, it's still running a current account excess. And this is why the euro is actually very strong.
Ion-Marc, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Dukascopy TV. Now, do stay tuned. Do not go anywhere, as we have plenty more interviews heading your way. See you soon.